NTS Radio is an underground radio station with a global listenership where DJs are given total freedom. They can play what they like, say what they like. Everyone from teenage ballroom and grime experts to huge stars like Mos Def and Fortet are on its airwaves. DJs and musicians from across the world line up to play in its small but mighty studio, but you'd have to know to find it.
Oh, good afternoon. You're listening to the nts.live show.
Hello, willkommen.
Yeah, we're back after quite a long hiatus. When was the last time we were actually in the studio?
Don't know, December time.
Over a month, yeah. How are you doing, Christina?
Fine. Right, let's get to the next one.
Ooh.
We're not a dance station. We're not a jazz and soul station. We cover it all.
This is like a pirate radio station. There is nothing that you'd be shocked to hear on NTS.
You might think of something that's small in scale as being a pass-through for practitioners, DJs, artists, but I do believe that NTS is a destination.
NTS is a predominantly online radio platform.
So this is like our original studio, London studio, but we broadcast from Los Angeles and from Tokyo and from lots of different countries around the world.
There's about roughly 250 regular hosts, but then there's God knows how many other guests.
A lot of them are producers and musicians and DJs that are recognised by, their fans. So they get to hear these guys actually play regularly their own music.
A lot of people kind of test new material on it as well. Everybody's like really into what they do. They're really passionate and kind of, obsessive nearly. They're not lying, they love music. Willkommen, wie geht's? That was Die Dominas with Ralphie und Karl.
And next up is
Deutsche.
Vertigo. It's a bit of French, isn't it?
It might be like there's a young kid that comes on that nobody's heard of, and then the next guest that comes on, it might be a really big name. It's really important that we maintain that, and it's not just all about big name, high profile musicians and DJs.
I think the main thing we look for is just a passion for what you're doing, passion for music or for radio. There's no ego at NTS.
We play grime, funky, garage.
Very wide breadth of strange electronic music.
I play a lot of Middle Eastern stuff, and I play a lot of kind of UK dance music.
Soulful music, a bit of disco, jazz, funk, psychedelic folk music.
A mixture of spoken word and jazz and funk music.
Modern classical or like Steve Reich or something taken from like a ballet, but then I might also just play like Kanye West after it.
I play really fun, fast pop music, and I shout really loud over it.
You'd be able to hear anything from like spiritual jazz from Chicago from the 60s in 1 hour.
And then the next show will be like opera.
House and techno to experimental to ambient, psych, hip-hop, drone, noise.
I think NTS listeners are open to that idea of what could be. Because when you listen to a show that's based on digital static, for instance, and there's been some shows around some random stuff like that.
You're definitely going to find something in here. We have people who've got like philosophy of mind lecturers coming on to speak over experimental techno.
That's played by real people, not electronic.
And it's about unearthing music from the past as well. Obscure records that most people haven't heard before. Really, it's really about discovery.
They're like catchphrases, don't assume. And I feel like all the DJs kind of like also fall into that.
There's no rules, essentially. You're left to do what you want,
Square, Grand Mixer, NTS, trust. Man, bad way, bad man, never been pranked. Grab tools if man wanna beef man. No tools, I'll lick out your head back. Don't talk when I talk, shut your trap. Don't act up.
Apart from radio, we also do events, not just in London, but also in these cities where we broadcast from.
One of the biggest events we've had so far would be our collaboration with the Chinese artist Zhang Ding. He wanted two artists, performers, bands to go head-to-head in a brand new, never-before-done, live, experimental collaboration. The installation itself was really complex. 2 sets of 4 rotating mirrors behind which the performers would play. And really exciting and really, really cool.
It's a younger audience, it's a very knowledgeable audience, it's a worldwide audience. Sometimes you play a tune and everybody's, on the chat room is going, ID please, they want to know what that track is. And the most amazing thing is that sometimes, you've got I have an assistant here and they'll be replying, but before they can even write a reply, somebody else in the chat room has said what it is, because that's the kind of forum that's out there.
People generally just hang around on the chat room for like half their evening and have forum friends. So it's as much a community to people tuning in as it is the people kind of like behind the scenes. And I don't think there's like a gap between the listener and the DJ, so much so as on other stations.
You couldn't design this station. If you sat down now and tried to design a station like NTS, it would be hopelessly contrived because you'd be trying to be cool. This thing has just evolved. It's just a reflection of the guys that started it, and they've been very principled about what they've done, and they've stuck to their guns, and they've kept it commercial free, and they've just given a great platform for people to express themselves.
I think in an era where people are not attending live music events with actual music being made in the moment, this becomes a very present place for music, where you witness people doing something, even just playing a record, which has become an art form in itself.
Understanding authenticity means that you can find it with ever greater ease, and NTS, for me, is indicative of that idea of something that is built from the underground, and by that I mean an incubation space where genuine culture flourishes, but it's also open and accessible, and a place where everybody, if they have the inclination, can find it.